He's the referee.
Ready?
I'm ready. My name is Richard Gates, for those of you who don't know. I'm from Keokuk, Iowa, and I'm a constitutional conservative. I've been involved in the Tea Party movement for the past 2.5 years. My wife sometimes still remembers my name. If you want to find me after work, then your best chance of finding me, if I'm at home at all, is going to be in front of my computer, or maybe I'll be eating dinner and watching the news on the computer. One of the things I support right now, wholeheartedly, is not lower taxes, but a new way of collecting federal taxes. All across the country, one simple fair tax. That tax is the fair tax, H.R. 25, in the Senate it says 13. Right now, in the House of Representatives, the fair tax has 63 co-sponsors. We're on to something. This is going to get rid of the corporate tax, business tax, investment taxes. We're going to quit taxing hard work and savings. We're going to replace 70,000 pages of federal tax code right now with this bill right here I've got in my hand. It's 137 pages, double-spaced. Please check it out. I've left some information around on the fair tax. It's going to replace all the income taxes. It will retire the IRS, and it will also implement the beginnings of repealing the 16th Amendment, which is the income tax. The income tax was wrong from the day one. 1913, when it was passed, it was supposed to be a temporary measure, only taxing the very wealthy. I think we've heard that somewhere recently here. A lot of people are recommending that we go to a flat tax. Well, there's the difference. The flat tax is still an income tax. We're still taxing our hard work. We're still taxing that offshore money that Mr. Archer was just talking about. There's $14 trillion, the last figure I heard, that's parked offshore. That money would come back to our economy. 4,000 CFOs and CEOs in international businesses were interviewed after being educated about the fair tax, and they were asked what would happen if that bill was passed and signed into law. They said they would move their corporate headquarters and their new business expansion would be in the United States. This will be the biggest boon to our economy and our jobs that we can do, and it's in Congress right now. We need to get it out of the dust bowls, onto the floor for debate, and up for a vote and get it passed. I plan on supporting it, and as soon as I raise my right hand and take that oath, my next action will be to sign on as the next co-sponsor of the fair tax. Also, we have to rein in regulations. 80,000 some new federal regulations and rules since 2008. The vast majority of them in Obamacare. Those have got to go. We've got to get these regulations under control. We've got to quit letting the executive branch tell us what laws we're going to have and when. Laws need to be voted for in Congress. They're the ones supposed to be doing the legislating, not the EPA, not the FDA. We shouldn't have to worry about the EPA passing cap and tax when it's been voted down in the legislation. We shouldn't have to worry about if they're going to be raising corporate taxes, or if they're going to be imposing a new definition and deciding that spilling milk on a dairy farm is a hazardous waste disposal problem. We've got to get reality and common sense back into Washington, D.C. All four of us are going to stand here and tell you how hard we work. We wouldn't be sitting in front of you today if we weren't willing to all do the job. Mr. Archer and I have already entered into an agreement, and I invite our two friends here to also join into that agreement, that we're going to run respectful, dignified campaigns. We're not going to muddy the water, because at the end of the day, LoSAC goes home. There's no other option. That's what we've got to do. We're going to have one chance, and one chance only. We've got to get the White House. We have to secure more votes in the House, and we have to win the Senate. We have to have a veto-proof Congress so that we can get things done. We've got to have jobs. I've started working on a project that I think we can get some jobs in Iowa. Has anybody heard of the Trans-Canada Pipeline? Canada wants to ship 400,000 barrels a day, I believe is the number, to Texas through a pipeline. And they want to run the pipeline through Nebraska. The governor of Nebraska just asked the White House not to issue a license for that pipeline. The environmentalists and the liberals are fighting it because of the oil spills related to the Illinois pipeline. Ladies and gentlemen, they had 14 oil spills in the Illinois pipeline. They weren't even related to the pipeline. They were all at pumping stations. One was for 350 gallons. The other 13 spills were less than 5 gallons apiece. Now, come on, are we going to stop 400,000 barrels a day because we had a 5-gallon oil spill? So they don't want it, that's fine. Why don't we do this? Why don't we cut the pipeline in half? Let's build 3 new refineries in Iowa, and let's have that pipeline come straight to Iowa. Then we've got a central location for oil, refining, and ethanol. Right now, ethanol has to be trucked all the way to Texas or all points far away. We could put Iowa into one of the best economies we've ever seen. If we can get that done, we pass the fair tax, and we get the regulations under control, those are the things we've got to do to put Iowa and the United States back on track. We send Obama home, we send Musakatine packing, and then in 2 years, somebody's going to have to find a way to send Mr. Harkin packing too.
Amen.
We all work together, and we have to do this as a team. We've got to, at the end of the day, make sure that we support whoever wins the primary. I hope to be that person. I've been working very hard for the past 2.5 years. We've done rallies, we've registered voters, we've just been on and on and on. Right now, I'm also part of a grassroots committee that meets with Governor Branstad once a month. My friends in Spencer, the Spencer Tea Party, set that up. We've been doing this now for the first meeting with the governor, I think it's in February. But we send somebody with an issue to discuss those grassroots Iowa issues with the governor once a month. We also have different coalitions around the state with Sioux City and Council Bluffs and Davenport, Iowa City, Burlington, and in Keokuk. I also started 2.5 years ago, I started a group called 912 Patriots for Action, which is a national social network of conservatives and like-minded people. We have over 700 members now on a nationwide basis. We do forums, we have chat room sessions, we've done conference calls. And while I'm thinking about conference calls, I did speak to Senator Grassley. He came out and made a public statement about being a supporter of the flat tax. We discussed it on a conference call. At the end of the conversation, Senator Grassley told me that economically, the fair tax is the best solution, but there's not enough people educated about it. And if we had the grassroots support, he would support it as well in the Senate. And as you know, Senator Grassley is a senior member of the Finance Committee. I have talked with members of the House Ways and Means Committee. They have just recently had fair tax hearings, and we've got some progress going on with that. I've been in touch and talked directly with the national leadership of fairtax.org, which is Americans for Fair Taxation. I've talked with the Iowans for Tax Relief, and they're in support of fair tax as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have it right in our hands, and all we have to do is stand up, go vote, and get it done. But it's going to take your support, because at the end of the day, it's not the 4 of us, any one of us. It's our grandchildren and our children. That's what this election is about, and that's why we've got to win in 2012.